Hello, Andrew Wilson and Pepe Cavalieri here to take you through the preview of round 2 in the WRFL, brought to you by Complete Hire Equipment. We'll start with Division 1, Pepe, brought to you by Rams. Altona versus Spotswood, both coming off wins last week.
Yeah, a tough one to call. I think Altona, the quality of the opposition who they beat last week in Deer Park stacks up a little bit more than Spotswood's win over Wyndham Vale, and at home I think they'll be too strong.
Yeah, Caroline Springs, a big surprise last week with a big win over Albion. They take on St Albans, who just fell short to Hoppers Crossing.
Yeah, and a new coach, some gun recruits at Caroline Springs, and apparently it's worked a treat. They were terrific against Albion last week. Against an Albans side that is also much improved, it might come down to the home ground advantage, so I'm going to go with Caroline Springs.
And Hoppers Crossing take on Deer Park. Deer Park beaten by Altona, unfurling their premiership flag last week.
Normally some really good games between these two. It'd be very rare to see Deer Park lose 2 on the bounce. That's why I'll tip them.
Yeah. Werribee Districts play Albion. You think Werribee District be too strong in this one?
I think it's hard to go past them. They were challenged by Albion late last year in the final round, only just got over the line, as we remember, to make the finals in 2017. But the Tigers, they were sublime against the Kangaroos in the last quarter, especially last week. So I think they'll get the job done. And
Wyndham Vale take on Sunshine. You expect Sunshine to be too strong for Wyndham Vale. Both sides coming off round 1 losses, though.
Yeah, I think Wyndham Vale will be very disappointed with their efforts against Spotswood. Obviously, the Woodsmen are a prime outfit and will be, again, a contender in 2018. But I think Sunshine, they'll be very keen to bounce back from last week. Yeah, agree with you there. Division 2, Auburn Vale take on West Footscray. West Footscray were pretty impressive, but at their own admission, they know they're going to have to play well on Auburn Vale's home deck. So I'm going to go with Auburn Vale just at home. They lost to Parkside last week. They'd be pretty shocked, I think, at that, especially the margin beyond 10 goals. I think they'll bounce back this week. Yeah, I think West Footscray might be too strong there. In Newport Power also take on Point Cook. Point Cook, new to the competition, get their first win in their first game, so congratulations to them. And they travel down to Newport to play this week. Yeah, Newport can be a fortress. They play very well down there. I think Point Cook clearly have some quality in their side. They proved it last week coming in from the VAFA in Division 3 over there. And I think based on last week's performances, I think got to tip them. Yarraville Seddon defeated North Footscray last week. Bit of a sort of revenge from last year's grand final. They take on Parkside, who are absolutely fantastic in their first game back in Division 2. Look, the Magpies, the Parkers, whatever you want to call them, they're an excellent side. They've come up from Division 3. They rate themselves as a Division 2 club. They played some Division 2 football last week and won. This is a real test against Yarraville Seddon Eagles. I'm not sure I can quite tip them. I'm probably going to disappoint Nick Kondos quite a bit by not doing that, but I think I have to go with Yarraville Seddon, especially at home. Yeah, Yarraville Seddon for me as well. And final game in Division 2 is Manor Lakes taking on North Footscray, both coming off losses. North Footscray with a few new players in their lineup as well, a few youngsters coming through. They had 14 premiership players in their lineup last week, so a little bit of a different look for the Devils, and I think they'll be too strong for Manor Lakes, who perhaps won't be too pleased with their efforts last week. Yeah, I agree with you. I think North Footscray will get the job done there. Division 3, Point Cook Centrals take on Wyndham Suns, both coming off wins in round 1. Wyndham Suns knocking off Tarneet. A bit of a revenge there from the preliminary final loss from last year. Yeah, look, Wyndham Suns, obviously a very good performance to beat Tarneet last week. The youthful enthusiasm that sort of surrounds Port Cook Centrals will carry them pretty well for a fair chunk of the game if they're on their game. But I think Wyndham Suns are too strong on this one. And our match of the day next week will be Sunny Heights taking on Glen Orden. Great to have Glen Orden back in the competition after a year out, so it should be an interesting game, this one. Yeah, it should be. Sunny Heights were disappointing last week, and I think they would be disappointed. We didn't get a chance to speak to them on the radio after their match, but they'll be pretty disappointed with their start, and they'll be looking to bounce back. Glen Orden, there's an element of the unknown with them. The Hawks, they were good without being great last week, but I think it's just a feeling out process for them as they get back into footy. But I think Sunny Heights, if they're a serious finals contender this year, like they believe that they are, they probably should win. Yeah. And Tarneet take on an improved Laverton. Expect Tarneet to bounce back this time, wouldn't you? Yeah, I think so. The gulf between these two sides is too great to consider Laverton, even though they put in a decent amount of good footy last week. They couldn't get the job done, but they're on the way up, there's no doubt. But Tarneit will be too strong, especially after going down in round one.
And the final game in the round, Braybrook taking on North Sunshine, 2 winners from round one.
Yeah, and 2 potential big improvers in 2018. North Sunshine, obviously, we know lots of talent in their lineup, and another year together is going to benefit them so much. Braybrook, the word is that things are starting to come together a little bit for them. We saw it last week with a first-up victory. I just leaning a little bit towards North Sunshine. They were very good last week, and they've got some real players on that team, and I think they'll win.
Yeah, I might go with the Brookers at home. All right, thanks. This has been the WRFL preview show brought to you by Complete Hire Equipment. Good luck to your team this weekend.